100 days living on a cruise ship.
Can you believe it?
I know. Well, today is day 100, and we are in Lombok, Indonesia, enjoying some snorkeling and beautiful beaches.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we're living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month ultimate world cruise on Serenade of the Seas.
We are. We've lived here now for 100 days, Mike.
100 days and 173 square feet.
Hard to believe. There's actually...
And you haven't killed me yet.
No. We're just snug as a bug in a rug, the two of us.
That's right. 100 days.
Yeah, 100 days. Now there's 665 of us on board who are on for the full 9 months. Now there's others that kind of come and go for either segments or little mini legs of it. So we do have new passengers all the time, but 665 of us are on for the full duration. And we thought, so we weren't getting into Lombok until 2:30 in the afternoon, kind of a late day. So we had the whole morning. We thought, well, it would be fun to go around and interview some of those 665 people and just find out, what has been your favorite memory, your favorite event, your favorite port, excursion, favorite whatever. And so we did. We took the microphone around and just had a great time talking to those that we'd found in the gym or the Windjammer main dining room, and just interviewed them.
Hi guys, Derek here, the food and beverage director on the Ultimate World Cruise on Serenade of the Seas. And my favorite thing is just seeing how the whole crew and guests are becoming all one big family.
And what's my favorite thing about 100 days? One is meeting all the people.
Friends, we created a special video that just kind of compiled all the wonderful answers that we received from interviewing all of them. So that was fun.
Yeah, so be sure to check that out.
Yes.
We'll put a link in the description. You can also, of course, find it directly on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
But the joy in people's responses was infectious.
It was very cool.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah,
I really did. Well, not only did we do that interview, the ship was celebrating too.
They made the largest cake the ship has ever made. It was huge. It's probably twice the size of the St. Patty's Day cake. It came out on 2 trolleys. It was on a wooden piece of plywood, yes. And it took 6 or 7 men to transfer it from the trolleys to the table, and I'm glad the table didn't collapse.
I know,
because that was a heavy cake,
and the plywood was bowing, and it was really quite amazing. And then once they got it out, they actually were then decorating it because they couldn't put all the different decorations they did, and they put decorations to highlight different spots we've been to. Just amazing. Kudos to the Serenade chefs, the staff, the pastry chefs. They really outdid themselves. It was quite amazing. Yeah, it really was. Well, at 2:30, our ship docked, and that gave us the opportunity then to get off and meet up with our tour guide. Now, there were 7 of us total. We got together. One of our friends actually arranged this with a tour company to take us out to the Gillies, and as Nancy mentioned, the Gillies are just the small islands. Sometimes you'll hear when you're doing some research in Lombok, you get to go out to Gili Island. Well, that's kind of like saying island. There are hundreds actually of the little Gillies.
Islands,
Gillies. And they take you out there. They're all have beaches. They have snorkeling, and we had to take a bus that then took us to a boat. That then the boat would take us out to the island.
Right. Well, I am sure Lombok is a lovely area, but really, unfortunately, we didn't see a lot of that because where we had to get on our boat, it was just riddled with litter, and it was disappointing, and it was a real turn off of visiting there. And I'm just sorry to say that. It makes me feel bad, but
you want to let people know what to kind of expect. And I was kind of saying I'm glad we had our tetanus shot because there was a lot of trash we had to walk through to get onto the boat. But
you banged your head. I'm really glad you had a tetanus shot.
On one of it's being 6 foot tall in a world where most people are 5'8" to 5'10", and the overhangs were a little low for me. But yeah, luckily I'm not hurt or anything. Yeah.
That's good. Well, when we got to when we boated out to the islands, the boat ride was about 15 minutes to get to the first island. Really, the islands were lovely. There wasn't litter and pollution or trash on the islands, so that they were very nice. And we got to go out and do some snorkeling on both of the islands. But the first one, when we went out, we saw some marine life. It was a little bit hazy, a little cloudy from the cyclones that had gone through. The coral life wasn't as vibrant as it was on the Great Barrier Reef. But the fun thing is they gave us a water bottle. So picture just your plastic water bottle with a cap on it, and the cap had maybe a 1/4-inch hole kind of drilled through, or a nail that had been pushed through the cap, and they had stuck bread inside the water bottle. So then the water bottle filled up with water, it had the bread got all soggy, and you're able then to squeeze the water bottle, and the bread came out that little tiny hole in the cap. And then, oh my word, did that attract the fish?
Yeah.
That was something.
It was.
Wow.
It was incredible. I mean, just hundreds and hundreds of fish swimming around you and eating the bread, and that was a lot of fun. That was really a lot of fun, and you don't get that close to that many fish very often, but
they're just right there.
Right, they were.
In your face.
Well, one thing I found fascinating was, we're on these skinny little boats with dual outriggers. I would call that quintessential Indonesia, right? I mean, you're not on a catamaran, or you're not on a Zodiac boat. I mean, it is, we had a driver in a wooden boat, and even had his son with us on the boat and taking us out snorkeling. And I actually really enjoyed that riding on the boat. Yeah.
But I also really liked seeing the structures that they used to catch the fish.
Right.
That these were some large structures.
Fish traps.
Yeah, fish traps. It almost looked like they could maybe stay the night in a little hut on the fish trap. But I thought that was very fascinating to watch.
Right. So we did that first island, and then after that we went out to a second island, and each of the gillies have a different name. And the second island was Gili Cadiz, and then the first island was Gili Tangkong, if I remember correctly. And so they each have a name, and if you book a trip out to the Gillies, you'll see these different ones. But the Gili Cadiz is really famous because it's the small Gili. It's very small,
tiny. And we were the only ones on it for a while.
We were, and we had it was funny. A couple other people from the World Cruise. In fact, a couple families with kids showed up just as we were getting ready to leave. But yeah, we really snorkeled there. We saw some starfish. You saw a beautiful blue starfish. That was really neat. But then we really just kind of laid on a bed on the beach and watched the sun go down, and took some pictures in the swings, and that was just really nice. And unfortunately we couldn't watch the sun go all the way down because we did have to get back to the ship. Right. The ship is not going to wait if we don't come back, so we had to take the boat back to the shore and then get on the bus, and then the bus back to the ship. And we did not actually make it back to the ship till after dark, and you can see that. Just went and had a dinner at the Windjammer, and after that,
getting ready for the next day.
We're getting ready for the next day, which is going to be Bali, Bali, Indonesia. I'm really looking forward to this one.
I am too.
Right, the beautiful tiered, trellised rice paddies and the monkey forest. You're not going to want to miss this one. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it earns it. It is really beautiful. So be sure to stay in tune for that. And to make sure that you see that, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications if you're liking our videos, and so you don't miss any of our 9-month Ultimate World Cruise adventure.
That's right. Well, before we sign off, Mike, would you go back to Lombok?
Probably not Lombok. And as we're recording this, we've actually just gotten back from Bali, which, spoiler alert, I really did enjoy. Again, I look at Lombok. You've probably heard us say this if you're following along on our videos. It was a beach stop, but we've seen some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, especially after just getting back from the Great Barrier Reef. The snorkeling and the scuba diving there was just incredible. So it had a lot to live up to from the previous stop. So no, I don't think so. Again, we say this a lot. If your cruise ship is stopping at Lombok, make the most of it. Go snorkeling out at the Gillies, spend a day, get a private guide to take you, and you'll have a great day. But probably not one I would make a point of coming back
either. And honestly, I think it was the trash and the litter that really just
it turned you off. No, it did. Yeah.
So.
And you can't feel bad about that. It's how you feel. And the nice thing is, hopefully for our viewers here, we're letting you know kind of what to expect. But once you got out to the Gillies, it wasn't.
No,
as
the
bad
Gillies
as that,
were
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what about you? You haven't told me. So
Oh,
you're
no.
saying...
Oh, I said I wouldn't come back because of the trash.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks again for tuning in, and be sure to catch that next video on Bali. Oh, and be sure to look at the link below where you'll be able to catch our special video on 100 days and see what all the other passengers are saying about the Ultimate World
We had
Cruise.
released that one early. We released that one almost right away, so it's been out there for a while. Hopefully you've had a chance to see it, but if you haven't, it's a great video to watch.
Yeah, go back and catch that one. Well, once again, thank you. We sure appreciate everyone that's following along and watching, and hoping you are enjoying and sailing along with us.
Have a beautiful day, friends. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.